Hey guys, Sam7 here, and we're going to do Moto 2 for the Championship Series at Grizzly Raceway. Entire starting lineup is inverted from the starting lineup of the first Moto, so that's going to make this one very interesting. We have Fireball as the pace car driver this time around. Can Luke get the sweep? Can Hunter or Rebel come in and steal that position? Possibly get a first win for Hunter, or a Moto win on an oval for Rebel. That'd be his first Moto win on an oval. This is actually his first race on an oval. Incredible statistic, considering the fact that he just finished very well. But here we are, coming to the start. And we're green. Pretty even start that time, although Cat's probably going to get the run through the corner. Really nice 3 wide through the middle of the pack, almost like a 4 wide situation right here yet again. Yeah, 4 wide for second place. Holy crap, Luke's in battling for the lead now, and I can't exactly tell from here who else is in there. I think it might even be Vulcan in second right now, but then he's going to battle. Ump is going to take over second. Luke's going to take over the lead, but now Ump is going for the lead. And Vulcan is still fighting for that podium position. Luke and Rebel, I believe, going on the high side. 4 wide, almost a 5 wide for third place. Luke going on the inside of Ump. Ump trying to hold on to the lead, and now Slaunch is up there. I can't even follow all the position changes at this point. This is just ridiculous. Rebel is in fourth. Everybody is cheesing all over the track. Luke's taking the lead back. Ump is still holding into second. Rebel looks like he's going to try to overtake second, and Slaunch is up there as well. But now Slaunch is going for third as Rebel gets slowed down, and I think Hunter unit on the inside now going to go for third. Forces him up. Now Rebel's going to go back down to the inside, possibly taking Opix with him. Slaunch has to go to the outside of the track. Opix kind of spins out. Oh, spins out off of Slaunch. So that's going to be unfortunate for Opix. He's going to fall to the back of the track. Luke and Ump safely in first and second. Rebel and Hunter in third and fourth. Similar top 4 to last Moto, just a bit of a different order. We're watching Detail trying to work his way by Opix. Detail in last yet again. I don't know what is up with his starts today, but his starts on Grizzly have just been atrocious, and it is costing him hard. If he had better starts, probably could have some decent finishes here, but with these starts, he's not going to be able to break together good results. He's really going to have to, I don't know, try to salvage as much as he can through the rest of this race, and I don't really know how much he can salvage at this point, but he's just going to have to try to do what he can do. Here we go to Hunter, who's safely in third, trying to work his way by Ump in second, and Rebel's obviously going to try to follow through. They're going to see if they can do the exact same thing that they did in the first Moto to Ump. See if they can do it. Looks like Hunter's doing it so far. He's working Ump on the inside, forcing him up a little bit, and Rebel's going to have to opportunistically take that move as well. Yup, there he goes to the inside, and Ump did not see that coming. He knows now. He's like, all right, I gotta settle in the middle line, and just gives it up. He's going to settle into fourth, and Hunter and Rebel are on their way to trying to track down Luke in first place. Very similar lineup. It looks like these 4 drivers are definitively the fastest drivers on the track, at least for this track. And very hot start. I mean, these Ump, it's incredible to see Ump and Rebel both. 2 drivers that had to fight through the wild card. And I emphasize had because, as we see Rebel and Hunter battling here, I emphasize had because they weren't locked in. You know, they weren't locked in going into the wild card night. They actually had to show up, had to get wins, and had to earn their way through wildcard night into the Champ Series. They did that. Now they're here, and Ump has gotten 4th place in the first Moto. He's running 4th right now. Rebel got a podium in the first Moto. He's running podium position right now. Incredibly impressive out of these drivers. Just amazing to see these 2 guys that have fought their way through the wildcard, through some adversity, come out and be firing in the Champ Series. In fact, I'm a bit surprised. I actually thought we'd see some of the heavy hitters as Slaunch and Blades really annihilating this track. I thought this would be a good track for them, but they just haven't had as good of a night here. And the fact that we haven't had very many cautions, definitely not going to help them out. No cautions is not going to help these drivers at all. And Slaunch is probably going to have to give up this position back to Blades here in a second, because as you can see, he's running the cushion. He's probably going to pass him running the cushion. So we had no cushion allowed for this race, so he's going to have to give up this position after he takes over it. Although it is showing a little bit how this track might run differently if we allow the cushion next season, which I'm not 100% sold on yet. I think I'd rather just change the layout, change the apron, maybe add a grab volume or 2, maybe adjust the banking. I think there's other things we can do than allow the cushion, so we'll see how it goes. This track will definitely be back for next season, but it's not going to look 100% identical, so look out for that. Although this is a good battle here for fifth place, battling for that top 5 position again, Slaunch and Blades. Very interesting to see Blades finish outside of the top 5 in the first moto. He does not finish outside of the top 5 very often, but the Champ Series is competitive, man, and you're going to see some good drivers, some of those heavy hitters, finish outside of the top 5 sometimes. That's just the way it is, and they're going to have to accept that too. Just move on and try to get some other moto wins later on in the night. Here comes Luke going to lap Blades and Slaunch, so he's going to be lapping 5th place here, and now he has to work on to who's 4th place. So it's incredible how much these lead lap drivers are lapping up the pack. I mean, it blows my mind how far up the field that they're lapping, and the fact that they're even able to do that. And all these drivers need is a caution to get their laps back and possibly get back in the battle, but there's no cautions coming out. It is a dry spell for cautions. First moto had no cautions throughout the entire race, which is the first time that's ever happened throughout the season. Is it surprising? Kind of yes, kind of no. I say kind of yes because we've never had that happen throughout the season, so obviously it's surprising. But I say kind of not as well because it's the Champ Series, more experienced drivers, and that's what makes it not surprising. You would expect the fact that we have more experienced drivers. We also have less drivers on the track too. You would think that those two variables would equate to no cautions, or at least reduced cautions, as opposed to a normal regular season race, and so far that seems to be the truth. And we'll have to see if that continues throughout the rest of the second moto, because if there's no caution here, I mean, these two drivers right here, Rebel and Hunter, they're gaining on Luke. They could actually make a run at the win, but the rest of the field, not exactly sure if they could. With how the fact that these guys are about, I think that's up there, so the fact that these guys are about to lap up to 4th place, these guys are the only ones in position to take the moto win at this point. If any of those other drivers want a shot, they need a caution. They're hoping for a caution at this point, and they're just absolutely clinging to the notion that there could be one. I mean, I'm sure if you're any of those drivers, I'm sure that's all that's going through your head right now is just, get as much position as possible. A little lag in the video there, sorry about that. But get as much position as possible and do what you can and just salvage what you can and wait for the caution to come out if it does. And sometimes that's the way ovals go when you're in mid-pack. Sometimes that's the way they go, is you just get in those ruts where it's like you're just hoping for something to happen, and you kind of, if it doesn't, you just kind of have to accept your fate. But while I went through that whole caution tangent right there, these guys, Hunter and Rebel, have had an amazing second place battle the entire night throughout the first moto and the second moto. These guys are just putting on a show. This is one of the best battles, honestly, that we've seen all season, I think, on ovals. I mean, we've had some good oval battles throughout the season. Luke and Hunter at Claystone is a recent one that pops into mind. On HRL Super Speedway, Luke and Cat. Another one that popped into mind for battle, going a little bit further back, Barvo, Slaunch, and Luke had a really good competition on Barvo. And then on Slaunch and Luke also on Chili Cove had really good battles. On top of that, Chili Cove, there's also Blades and Turkey. That was an amazing battle. Cookie, and I think it might have been Storm, whoever was battling with them. There's some great battles throughout the season on oval tracks, some really memorable ones. But right now, the best one of the season is probably this one that we're witnessing right now. And it is just endless. These two drivers just will not end this battle. They just keep going back and forth at each other. Rebel to the inside, Hunter to the outside, then Hunter will do a crossover move, get back on the inside, then Rebel will do a crossover move, get back on the inside. These guys just keep it up, and it is impressive to watch. It's also impressive to think that they are lapping up to 4th place and staying in this podium position, all the while they are just battling and duking it out for this position, and they're not losing time. They're actually continuously gaining time on the rest of the field. That just goes to show how fast these two drivers really are. Honestly, I'd even venture to say they're probably the two fastest drivers on the track right now. I don't know about the first moto, but at least in this moto, I think they definitely are. But at this point, they're duking it out so hard. It's the same situation as the first moto. Even if they're faster than Luke, if they're going to keep battling like that, they can only gain so much. And Luke's not even running the fast line now. He's almost running a safe line, but he's still gaining time on them, and it's because they are duking it out so hard and making it difficult to gain time on them, to the point where Luke can run a safe line and get away with it at this point. He can get away with running a safer line as long as they're going to keep battling. So I think Hunter and Rebel are going to have to do a mutual agreement, a truce here, and just decide to keep it single wide and try to catch up to him. Will they do that? Historically, no. But they should, and if they do, I think they have a chance of catching up and competing for the lead. But Hunter says no. He's like, nah, I ain't having that. We're gonna keep battling. We're gonna try to reach draft our way up there. And he goes back for the second place. And then I'm sure Rebel will fight back as well. Yeah, Rebel's already getting back on that inside. He's gonna try to poke his nose in there again. These guys, they don't even care. I don't even think they care about the win at this point. getting second place is a win for them at this point. They're just duking it out with each other, and it's great for them. These two guys, Hunter and Rebel, especially Hunter, he's not as good at SX, and historically throughout the season he's not been as good at GP. So he needs this good oval performance. Rebel, if he wants to win the Champ Series, he needs this good oval performance. He needs a good performance at the oval, he needs a decent GP performance, and he needs a stellar SX performance, as he usually does in the past. Although he has had a bit of a, he's been stuck in a bit of a rut. He's had a rough spell with SX, so we'll have to see if he can actually get his mojo back and start getting it done again in SX, as we all know him for in the past. Although recently it's been GP and oval, the Rebel show, which is weird. He's actually been really good on the other types of tracks, and he's been deteriorating at SX. So really interesting. Maybe he spent possibly too much time working on the other tracks. I don't know, but Hunter's trying to make a move on him. Oh, Hunter with a kind of like paralleling Ump in the first moto with that move right there. But here we go to the final lap. White flag, and Luke's coming around, and he's going to take the win. Rebel and Hunter in second and third, and they weren't that far off him either. That was really close, way closer than the first moto. Really tight moto right there. As we go through the results, top three, same as the first moto, except Rebel in second, Hunter in third. Ump is fourth again. Blades is fifth now. Slaunch is sixth, finishing outside the top five. Cat seventh, Detail eighth, Vulcan ninth, and 10th Opix. And now we're going to go through the current champ standings and points. Luke has 33 points, gets that extra bonus point for the overall win. Rebel and Hunter tied at 30. Ump with 26. Blades and Papa tied with 23. Cat with 20. Detail is 17. Opix with 16. And Vulcan with 15 as we go to the podium. Really tight, intense points. First race of the night. Could definitely see some big mix-ups, some big changes in the points all throughout the night. So definitely do not worry about that. These points are going to heat up more and more so as the night goes on, even though we already have some ties and some close battles already. But anyways, good race there, Grizzly. Congrats to the podium finishers. Hope you guys enjoyed that race, and see you next time.